All right, we're here at Branson's Wild World, and we're hoping to get a behind-the-scenes tour, after hours, of course.
I don't know. Maybe for you, since you're my godson and all, I'll let you know.
Well, let's hope so.
Okay, so where are we at exactly?
We're in Branson, Missouri. It's called Branson's Wild World, and it's on the strip next to Walmart.
And you've really expanded it since you opened it at
Yeah,
first.
almost doubled it in size as in just 1 year.
And what are all the attractions here?
Well, you know, the biggest thing that everyone comes here for is the interactions, because you can feed sharks, stingrays, and alligators. You can go in the pen with the dingoes. You can play with lemurs. There's a lot of stuff like that for everybody to do. But we also have lots of regular zoo exhibits like tigers, lions, all that.
And you got mini golf, and you just opened a new thing called Retro Mania.
Yeah, that's actually down the street.
And we're going to go over there and check that out. But your main attraction is this one.
Yes.
Okay. So can you give us an exclusive behind the scenes, normally in our business we would say behind the screens tour, and kind of point out like some of the detail work that you put into it, because like our videos really focus a lot on detail, right, River?
Yeah.
And attractions. And River here loves animals, and he has actually donated some animals to you, hasn't he?
He's donated a couple so far, yeah.
And you have another place in where the cave is at.
Yeah, by Merrimack Caverns. It's a town called Sullivan, and there's a full zoo there too.
Okay, so you're kind of like the new zoo master. So, like, when you watch the movie, How to Build a Zoo, like, does your kids say, Dad, that's you?
That comes up from time to time, but that was actually, they bought a zoo, and I didn't buy one, I built one, so.
All right, so let's go on a tour and see some of the things that are located here in Branson's Wild World.
Okay. Actually, this is a brand new exhibit with an anaconda in it, and this actual tank came from the rapper Nelly out of one of his houses in Eureka.
Hey, did you see that thing where his house went up for sale? It was like a mansion.
Yeah, it came out of that house.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Holy cow.
in Eureka.
I feel like that'd be obvious.
Yeah, it was a really run-down mansion.
Yeah, you know, it's like everything else. You have a lot of money, you have this posse, and you let them tear the place up, and you don't care about it. That's what he did, you know?
All right, let's go, River. Let's go take a look.
Hey,
So that anaconda will get big.
it will get very big. That's a green anaconda. Those get the biggest of all.
So what's in here, like ducks?
Not every exhibits are lit up currently. We have all sorts of kinds of different fish. We have these arowana, which are actually very predatory. People can actually pay food and to feed them, and they'll jump right out of the water and grab it off the sticks. And then we have ducks and all sorts of exotic animals.
One of the things I noticed that's a little different about your place than like a zoo is like you're right on top of stuff.
Yeah, well, that is what everybody comes here for.
You see, it's a facade of a tank.
Oh yeah. So River is infatuated with the fact that you built like a pirate ship up here.
Yeah, well, that's one of my projects for 2020 when we got shut down. I was like, I'll build something instead of sitting at home, and that's what we built for the pirate ship.
We can't see anything, but that's okay.
I tried to turn on all the lights, but you get behind the scenes tour, sometimes it's after hours.
Yeah, and you got some nice signs. And then what do you have, like a turtle in here?
Yeah, we have a sea turtle in here.
Where's he at?
She's probably sleeping. She likes that back corner, so she may come up and she may not.
I have seen the turtle before.
There she is.
It's a beautiful, beautiful turtle. Yeah, I see it. It's over there in the corner. Sorry, folks. No turtle. Where do you get all these like starfish and Jim?
Yes.
Like I was talking about, like in one of the videos we were making earlier. This is just a gunite sprayed, and then you got a roller.
Actually, this was all done by hand, and so it's all carved out of foam, and then you put like a chicken wire or some sort of metal structure on it in order to like give it strength, and then it's all hand laid, and then after that you go by with concrete stamps, and we have concrete stamps that look like brain corals, and concrete stamps that look like all sorts of different kinds of things, and so you see all the brain coral look and everything, that's actually stamped into the
Where'd you get the coral?
It's not real coral, it's a
I'm
stamp.
talking about the coral and the starfish.
These are actually, we have molds, and they're all poured out of resin.
Okay.
So everything here is poured out of resin, except for like, I think this piece is made out of concrete, but most of it is made out of resins like you would buy at...
And I'm assuming your pirate boat is made out of wood.
Yes.
Okay.
But actually, this is kind of interesting. So we did this texture all over it because I was trying to figure out what I could use that would be inexpensive but protect the wood from the salt water. That is actually just an application of liquid nail.
So you spread liquid nail all over it.
Spread liquid nail over it and made it pervious to salt water, but it also looks cool.
And we can't see your sharks. What kind of sharks are in here?
There's nurses. There's black tips. There's bonnet heads.
There's one right there.
Yeah, that's a nice shark there. There's bonnet tips and all that stuff. And of course, we have a big pirate boat over here too.
Yeah, I see the pirate ship.
So my hope eventually is to have all of it look like a pirate graveyard where the ships have been sunk. So that's just...
Can the sharks swim through the ship?
Yeah.
Got some turtles.
Little turtles.
Turtles, a toy in here.
I noticed, like, for theming, you're doing a lot of wallpaper.
Well, it's not wallpaper, it's actually vinyls that we print. And so we bought a big, giant, large format printer, and we print all the walls, and it adds a lot of theming without a major cost. We also print all our own signs and everything.
So that's come in handy, buying your own printer.
Yep, it was expensive at first, but I mean, I'd probably save a ton of money doing it myself.
Doesn't look like there's an animal home here.
Oh, there it is. There's 2 gators in there.
Yeah, I see them back there. Now those things are real wild, aren't they?
You know, they've been in captivity most of their lives, so they're not in there.
Now I'm guessing this is a photo op.
Yes, it is, and you can tell because people tear it out. But you actually can get in there if you're small enough, stick your head in here. Which my head is not that small until you get your picture taken.
Huge snakes.
Yeah, the reticulated pythons. Actually, people think of anaconda being the biggest snake, but there are reticulated pythons that get bigger than any anaconda.
What about the king cobra? Do you have one of them?
I do not.
Why don't you have one?
Too hard to handle. Like, they're not very fast, but they're extremely aggressive. And if they bite you, it's really hard to recover from it.
Really hard or impossible?
Not impossible, but pretty hard.
Yeah, so we are getting a tour when it's closed.
Yes.
And that is another python down there.
There's python.
And there's more of your printing. I guess you printed that sign, Deadly and Dangerous.
Yes.
And you have another little crocodile over here.
When it comes to zoos and it comes to like museum stuff.
What in the heck is that?
False water cobra.
Now that's deadly, right?
That is not. That is actually a snake that looks venomous but is not venomous.
This is venomous.
Yes.
Is that really venomous?
Diamondback rattlesnake, and it is very venomous, yes.
And how do you clean that cage? How do you get that thing out of there?
Normally, some cages have what's called shift boxes where it coax a snake into a dark, they like to go into dark areas anyway, and then you would shut that and clean the cage. Or in some cases like this, they may have to hook this snake, put it into a separate, they have what we call shift enclosure back there, and they put that in there to open it up so they can clean out.
Do you feed it live rats or dead
Not
ones?
usually.
Not usually? What would the snake prefer?
Probably would prefer live, but there's a possibility that a rat could kill a snake. It happens in nature, and it could happen here too. So we don't want our snakes to get into a big fight. They can't.
Is that another rattlesnake?
No, that's a puff adder.
That's a puff adder. Now those are impossible to handle.
They're pretty aggressive.
Because that's not a fully grown one, because a puff adder gets super fat. And they're hard to handle because they're so big you can't get your hands around it.
They use their skinny tails to like coax like birds and stuff, don't they? Like for worms and things like
I'm not a
that.
puff adder expert.
Well, normally what they do is they'll sit in one spot and just stay there forever until something walks across it. And their venom is super toxic, and it's, I think, the fastest striking snake. Is that one really poisonous?
Yes, it's really poisonous. Well, no, poisonous is when you eat it. It's venomous.
It's venomous. Okay. There's another cobra. You got a lot of cobras in here.
And then here, this is a caracal cat.
Oh, check that out. Look at his ears. That's crazy.
There's about 40 different species of exotic cats, and I think we have like 12 of them here. 12 or 14. Normally piranha, that's a vampire tetra.
A vampire. Oh yeah, he's back there. That's the fish with the big giant teeth.
Yes. That's actually a lot more dangerous than a piranha, but people don't know about them. Piranha get all the hype.
They get all the hype. Those are piranha.
So now this is a vacuum form also. We made these custom blocks for this.
And you do put out like a little hole.
And then you put vinyl in the middle of it, and that gives you the illusion that you can see out of the temple into a farm.
I'm trying to, I didn't bring a light, unfortunately. But yeah, I see it now, yeah. And then you use a lot of camo net.
Well, yeah, or else I'd be spending another fortune trying to decorate all that area. But also you want to get the illusion that you're in a forest.
And this is just wood, you know, and you sprayed it with concrete to add a little texture.
Excellent.
Yeah, synergy. What is this?
That's a band of
Kaboom Viper. That's the most deadly.
No. Kaboom Viper was over there. That's a copperhead.
Oh, that's just a copperhead?
Still a copperhead.
Not super dangerous.
It would hurt.
Oh yeah, it hurts. But it doesn't kill most people.
They're a giant snake.
And king cobras eat those.
Reticulated pythons?
Yes. That's what they love to eat, is pythons. Python tries to kill it, but you know, it
Then
just...
we have some gators here.
Oh, check that out.
Oh my.
Oh, look at that one. He's fidgety.
Can I get into the cage there?
That's pretty neat.
That's also vacuum form back there.
Yeah, vacuum form. Again, a lot more printing. And then, of course, just like theming too, just like...
This is a back of a...
Yeah, see, I like that. It looks like the back of a Jeep. And you just made it yourself.
You can't see it, but it has tires and everything on it, so...
Yeah, I know. I see the tires. They're right there. More printing.
Now this is a brand new exhibit I'm working on here.
What's going in there?
I actually put on the light.
A river otter?
River otter, yeah.
Didn't you have a chinchilla? But all concrete tank.
So how many people do you have working here that like help, you know, how many people does it take to, oh look, there's a velociraptor up there. I'm like worried. How many people does it take to keep all these animals fed?
We have 14 employees here.
But how many of them take care of the animals?
I would say 5 or 6 of them actually take active.
And that's atmosphere effects. Little dinosaurs running around.
So I did a lot of, the dinosaur thing was fun to do. I got a lot of these fossils from, and put fossils on display. And then I sunk a whole bunch of stuff in here. So that's actually a fiberglass dinosaur that I sunk into the water. So it would add to the theme.
So we're supposed to be in like a prehistoric section here?
Right. Well, most of the fish and stuff on display here were actually around the dinosaur age.
Are we going the wrong way?
Well, this is the end of this hallway. There's a moray, dude. Giant moray on there.
Yep.
He's not on by the animated T-Rex.
Has any of your employees just like dived in there just to swim around?
Sure. Look at that catfish.
Oh my
Red-tailed
goodness.
catfish.
Where'd you get that?
We raised him from a baby. He was only maybe less than the size of my hand originally, and now he's huge.
How long do they live?
Probably about 20 years.
So when one of these fish die, do you have to jump in and get it out?
Not usually. Usually the other fish take care of that.
And there's another T-Rex,
See, we like sunk a
saber-toothed tiger,
skull.
and there's a little dinosaur egg. Another crocodile, and of course a megalodon.
Everybody has them. And of course I got these really cool things from out of a museum in Canada, actually. So this tank?
So you started life as a haunted house guy, and
Yep.
then you turned into a animal guy.
Well,
What's the difference between the two?
Well, there's a lot of difference in taking care of the animals, of course. But the theming is actually not that much different. You kind of, the technique is a little different because you use a lot more concrete than you would in a haunted house. Because things have to be a lot more permanent. But other than that, it's a lot of the same technique.
Is it less stressful?
In a haunted house? I wouldn't say that.
I mean, like when you run a haunted house and there's 3,000-4,000 people, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not dealing with those crazy people who are drinking and going in the haunted house and punching actors, and you're not dealing with that per se. But we still have a lot of Karens, you know, that have problems with this or that or whatever.
Feeding the animals every day is probably stressful enough.
Yeah, well, it can be. It depends. And sometimes when the animals are like fighting or they have some sort of disease, that's a whole nother thing.
Do you have to have a veterinarian
I have two.
that they just work temporary, part-time?
Well, they're on call, like they have their own practices, but they also deal a lot of exotic animals.
And then you have a gift shop, which actually a lot of haunted house owners don't have them for some reason. And we are making videos about that. But like, and you've attempted to theme your gift shop as well. So, the crates,
Right.
you know, we were always,
The palm tree inside of it, all that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
And then the coolest attraction, I'm just going to tell you, and then we're going to go outside because we hear that you have an attraction outside now.
Yep.
So we'll go out there. But dude, like I came here and like this was the coolest thing ever. These lemurs. And you sit on that bench right there and they crawl all over you. It's like the coolest thing ever, and that was just like an upcharge.
Yeah. Well, some of the things interactively up front.
I think River wants the lemurs to crawl on him. All right, well, let's head outside.
So a cavy is like a kangaroo.
No, it just has some similarities in looks, but it's not even close to being the same.
Is it like a marsupial?
Was this like deck already here?
Nope. Built everything. This was just a grassy hill. Built everything.
And now it's like a big giant zoo.
What happened is someone
Probably not big. That's all you know, So
Do they like it in there?
they do to some degree. They hide a lot. This new white pack hides a lot. Hi, Keela.
And that's a wolf?
Yeah, it's just wolf. There are Arctic tundras.
What area of the world do they come from?
Arctic?
Arctic? I know, but like Antarctica, you're saying? Because I don't think there's wolves in Antarctica.
Cold like Upper Canada, stuff like that. So there's my temple. See the tigers in there? Tigers in there.
Holy
Oh
cow.
my god, you got tiger. You got the real life Tiger King over here. Now what would happen if you jumped in with them? If somebody jumped in with them?
How about I put you in there?
Is there a lion in there with them?
Yeah, there's 2 lions and 2 tigers.
Do they ever fight?
Of course.
They do? What do you do to get them to stop fighting?
You don't.
Are they declawed?
No. Oh, here's
So they can really hurt each other.
They do that from time to time. Then why are you being old?
So does anybody walk in there with the tigers? Does anybody walk in there with the tigers?
No. We have this, see that chamber right there? There's a double entry and then you can walk up that hallway and get inside there. This is actually 2 containers.
Oh my god,
Toddy.
that's so cool.
That's 2 containers that we lowered in a crane right to this area, and then I coated it all with foam and gun-eyed it.
That is so
And there's
cool.
the lion. And another tiger.
Oh my god, that is cool.
So Jim,
The hardest thing to build actually in this whole place was this staircase.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we had a crane and everything that lowered all these panels into place, and then we welded them right there, and then we had to build all the bottoms in and stuff. So that was pretty difficult too. But I would say the staircase was the hardest.
That is so cool, and the tiger's right there.
So when these tigers and lions fight, who usually wins?
There is no winning. They just roll around for a while, and occasionally one gets injured a little bit more than the other, but honestly, for the most part, they come out.
Well, since you know, like the Tiger King show came out, do you get a lot of people like with interest in tigers?
Not really.
No, nobody ever asks about it.
No.
Hey, what's down there?
That's Moses the lion.
Moses the lion lives down there? Yeah. Is that not like an exhibit you can walk up to?
No, not yet.
They don't. Do they not mind
Now,
that?
can you pet those things?
No, it's better off not to. That you always hear about somebody getting hurt, and that's because they always think they can pet something.
Oh my God! Look how big it is. Its head is so big. Here comes the tiger.
Have you ever seen one of these lions try to climb this cage?
No.
No.
But if they do, we have hot wire up there at the top. See the hot wire up there? They'll zap them really good if they got up that high. We're actually about 4 feet above the
Oh my
stand.
God!
What?
I turned my back to it, and they turned back around. He's trying to eat me.
He's not trying to eat you. They just love to scare people.
Do they get in that pool?
Yeah, they do all the time.
Here, Dad, look. Let me turn my back to him and see if he jumps up on me again.
I'm sure you will. Yes, you will.
Oh my. Dude, that thing is so cool.
And of course, it looks a little dull out here because it just rained. It's cloudy.
Dang, that's so cool.
The tiger's playing with the ball. So if you have to go in there, do you ever have to go in there and clean it or
Yeah.
anything?
So that's what that's for. It has 4 separate shifts in it. And you can see the holes from the front. Well, you saw them come out of the holes. They can, you coax them in there with food, you close the door, and then you can enter the cage without them being right on top of you. Otherwise, they would be right on top of you. Not aggressively, they just want to play,
But you know, like I was saying before, a lot of people have seen the Tiger King shows and stuff, and they get in there and they pet the tigers and touch them and stuff. But here, like, you don't let anybody get in there and touch the tigers and
no,
lions.
because the Tiger King was an idiot. A crazy idiot. And you shouldn't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because these are wild animals. Even though they're about as domesticated as they get,
Dude, look at that thing.
which is still a wild animal, right?
Still
That
wild.
line up there looks like
Still
he's about
100%
to hunt.
wild.
What?
Look at that line up there. It looks like he's about to hunt. Is that a female as well?
That's
that's
a
a
male
male.
because he's got a big fur around
It
his.
looks like a male.
He's got a mane.
He doesn't look like he has too large of a mane.
Young, his mane hasn't developed yet.
Yeah.
How old is he? Do you still have cougars?
Yeah, you'll see him. Still coming up.
Hi, lion. You are gigantic and cool. Wait, can I take a video of this? Dude, look at this lion, bro. There's a lion right there.
So is it like that's just like a flat part
Yeah, it's a flat part
that they can sleep in?
They lay up here most of the time on top. Like all cats, they like to be elevated.
How do they get up there?
Oh, no problem. They just scale up that wall like it's nothing.
Here comes this guy. He almost looks like a leopard.
That's Reno. That's a killer
Oh, got some dogs? They seem cold.
And actually, that's insulated with about 3 feet of foam, so it's actually really warm in there most of the time. And then we got our photo op Jeep where you can sit in the Jeep and get your picture taken with the lion or tiger if they cooperate, which is sometimes.
I mean, if somebody sits in there, they'll walk up there.
Well, the back of the Jeep is up behind there, so they just jump right up it. Give it a try. That might work. Just depends on how they feel.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. Yeah, see? They do what they want.
He's back there. She's back there.
She's just been following us everywhere.
It gets muddy when it rains and then it messes up.
Oh, cougars. Now, what would happen if the cougar ended up in the tiger cage? You'd be dinner?
I wouldn't stand much of a chance, but it's a lot faster. However, cougars actually kill more people than any other cat. There's Ghost.
So that's like a mountain lion, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Cougar, mountain lion, puma, they're all the same cat.
Dang. Yeah, these things, you can find them in the wild, right? In the United States.
You can find them in Missouri.
Missouri.
They're just hard to find because they're...
You get in one of the, like the Mark Twain forest in the middle of nowhere, you might run into one, possibly.
Yeah, you'd be food.
You might be.
There's videos of...
Are these, oh my god, the freaking pounce of that thing. He's so light on his feet. Or she.
The male's bigger. You can tell.
Is this like a full-sized one?
They're both full size, yeah.
They don't look too big, honestly.
No.
I would think they'd look bigger, honestly. I mean, you could probably try to fight off one of these things.
Well, you can by just standing up to them.
Normally we have birds in here when it's not cold.
They're ambush
And
predators.
then here's my lynxes.
Oh, those are so pretty. Those are like big cats.
They are. Some people
Where are
have
those
them
found at?
Those are Canadian lynxes.
So they're from Canada.
Yeah, they're pretty.
And they got heavy fur to stand that winter.
Now, will those things, like if you jump in there, will they be aggressive?
No, actually we used to let people in with them. It's just a little hard right now. We don't have the proper steps and stuff to get people up and down. Not yet. Anyway.
And they let you pet them?
Yeah. The problem is they want to jump on you. So
And what's in here?
we have servals in here, but they're locked up for the night, so you won't see them. And the one is very pregnant. She did have babies any
That
day.
guy is stalking us, dude. He was like.
So what's going in the cage way down below?
I think we're gonna have to go around. I don't have keys. What?
What's going in the cage?
It
All
already has stuff. It has a lion in it. Male lion.
We didn't see that.
I know,
You did.
they don't have a walkway to it.
Yeah, there's not. You can't get that close.
All right, go ahead.
Well, thanks for giving us a behind-the-scenes tour of Wild World. We had a great time. It was awesome. All the cool snakes and lions and tigers and everything. It was so cool.
Glad you liked it.
So how do we find your place here in Branson?
Well, we're on the strip, so it's kind of easy to find. But if you want to see more about it, you can go to the website at bransonswildworld.com.
And talk a little bit about your other place that you have, and you have a guy who became famous, sort of, like on TikTok, for making animal videos.
Yeah, it's called Wild Animal Adventures, and it's near the cave, Merrimack Cave, which is very famous. They have billboards all over the country. And one of my guys, he has a TikTok page, and he has like 6 million visitors, or 6 million friends, or whatever they call it.
Followers.
Yeah, followers.
And he
so-
makes a lot of videos on Instagram and TikTok with the animals.
Yes, he does.
Now, I noticed something on his videos that he actually pets the tigers and the lions
Well,
and plays with the wolves.
it's a whole different thing when it's someone who's, well, first of all, the wolves and the lions are a little easier because they'll accept you into the pack. They're pack animals. When you take something like a tiger that's normally solitary in nature, you just can't be friended enough to trust it. So that's why you don't go in with them.
Well, thanks for the behind-the-scenes tour, Jim, and you've done an amazing job. Now we're going to go check out your retro place, and again, check you out at in Branson here at wildworld.com.
Branson's Wild World.
BransonsWildWorld.com. And are you on Instagram?
Somewhere.
Well, thanks a lot, and thanks for giving us the tour.
All right, thanks for coming.
All right, so we're still in Branson. We're at a place called Retro Mania. They have a mini golf. They have like an 80s arcade. They have a mini haunted house. They have escape rooms. And we've been given the green light to walk around and take a look at everything, so we're gonna go do that right now. They are currently showing Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Here's the haunted house. Those props. check that out. This is what I would call rock and roll themed. Can you see me very good, River? And I'm assuming this is like Slash. It even says Slash right there. So we'll continue on. So we're just taking you like a behind the scenes tour of some of the escape rooms. So this is some sort of alien escape room.
Got some,
yeah, you got face huggers and so on and so forth. So I'm assuming this is like an alien themed escape. And there's a lot of stuff going on here at Retro Mania.
well, we got one more attraction. It's the 80s Film Museum. We're going to be entering in right over here.
And the first thing we see is
Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford.
Indiana Jones.
Is that supposed to be Tom Cruise?
Yeah, I guess it is. Maybe I better turn on a light so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, Tom Cruise. There's E.T.
Got Spock.
Sometimes known as the extra testicle. And then there's some autographs on the wall.
Here's one you'll like.
Spock, Connect 4 game.
Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Rambo.
Signature from Jack Nicholson. They're playing a little bit of Batman.
Ghostbusters with their face buffs.
Oh yeah, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rocky. That's a cool slime.
Star Wars. Phantasm. Michael Jackson from Thriller. Beetlejuice with some more face buffs. And that's it, River. And then there's like a little, what they call 80s arcade with 6 arcade games in from the 80s.
Free to play.
They're free to play. There you go. Show me the arcade here, Riv. You got Miss Pac-Man, Rampage, Galaga, Defender, and you got a photo op with the Simpsons. And then you have like a little gift store. The 80s edition of Monopoly. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you? And then there's some horror stuff over here. Some masks and whatnot. And a video disc player. Those actually used to be a thing. They never really caught on though.
Yeah, I found your socks, dude.
Some airbrush.
There's your socks.
Woo! Ric Flair. Okay, so we're here in Branson. We just did this place called Retro Mania, and I happen to know the owner. And so, what are your thoughts of Retro Mania?
No, it was good. There's a lot of stuff to do, and so I think it's just a pay one price, and you get to play everything. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then they have a cafe going in next door, and they have some escape rooms, and you just pay one price and you do everything. So I guess it's fine. It's definitely a lot to do, and so we're gonna move on to our next place. And so if you're here in Branson, check out Retro Mania. It's the whole thing is inspired by the 1980s, and they have like an 80s themed rock golf. They have like it really, now that I'm thinking about it, the haunted house was also 80s themed as well, because it had Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, even though Leatherface came out in the 70s, but they kept making movies in the 80s. So I didn't really put 2 and 2 together on that until just now.
Yeah.
That it's an 80s themed haunted house. All the characters are 80s based. Right? And then it had the escape rooms that was kind of like based on Aliens, which is kind of, I guess, 80s, Really, even when the movie came out in '79, it's still kind of 80s.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole place is just 80s. So when you're here in Branson, check out Retro Mania.